Hello, ladies. Thank you so much for coming a day early to our bonus day. This is a project I created for you guys, just for you. It's not real fancy, but you can do a lot with it. So I want to see what you guys do. So it's called Bloom Where You're Planted. Considering our theme for the weekend is April showers, bring May flowers. It doesn't have a lot of flowers. It's got some flowers on the sides, but you can add in a whole bunch of your beautiful flowers that you'll have this summer, or whatever you would like to put on here. So let's go ahead and let's create. Now, everyone's are going to be a little bit different, because I used a paper pack and I didn't use everybody's exactly the same. So everybody has the same color of these papers. This is Petunia Pop, and this is Blackberry Bliss, along with your pennant down here. This bloom and your background here will be the same. They'll either be early espresso or they will be pretty peacock. But we're going to kind of do the same thing for most of the of everything else because the colors all work. So this is the one with the early espresso, and the one that I'm making is the one with the pretty peacock. Okay, so let's get making. All right, let me grab my, which was just here. What did I do with it, Amy? Oh my goodness. How does this happen? It happens, does it happen to everyone? I think it happens to everyone. Okay, here's our pages. Let's look at those for just a couple seconds more. And I just looked at it. And where did it go? Oh, here it is. Here it is. So you've got a nice little packet of items. So let's see what you all have. Like I said, everybody's going to be similar, but a little different. Okay. Okay, so you've got 2 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. You're going to have the directions inside these. Well, not the directions, but the cutting. So here we go. I'm going to lay these out. Um, I did run out of the 3 by 3, so some of you have just like a 3 by 3 square of white. So just so you know, that's what it is. So we're just going to kind of lay it out. So they go this way, this way. Some of you will have, so this is one, will have the cardstock that is a two-tone, so it's the lighter and the darker. Some of you will just have that because I had to use what I had. Okay, so these are our florals. They're going to go on the outside. This is the reverse. Next in. So this one has the pretty pink, or pretty pink, not pretty pink, pretty peacock. So this has just a couple of things. So this one did have one. All right. So we're just going to kind of lay it out because we're going to do a few things before we start attaching things. All right. So there we go. That is pretty much how it's going to look when it's all done. But we're going to do a few different things, some stamps. We're going to do some blending brush. So it's going to be very similar, but different. So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. All right, so we're going to put some blending up in here. We're going to add a little blending, I think, in here and here, a little bit here. So what we're going to do for blending is we're going to use the Petunia Pop, which is this color right here. And everybody has that. That's what everybody has, is Petunia Pop. Oh my goodness. That's the one that's leaking. Ah! All right. We're going to clean this up before tomorrow. Yuck. Okay. Anyway, you know what we're going to do? We're going to use the other side of this one and the other side of that one. Ugh! It's like, where is this coming from? Okay, so we're going to be very careful with Petunia Pop. I will clean it up as soon as we are done with the video. So I'm just going to kind of put this on here just as a guide to kind of know where I'm going with this. So I'm actually going to do this and see if I can get some of this off. All right, very, very light hand up in here. Okay, just real lightly, kind of across this top section. So there's a silicone sheet that you can use at the make and take table. I'll have that out for you guys. You can use that. It works great for this if you don't have a glass mat. All right, and then we're going to do some down in here. Very lightly. Okay, so that's that page. I'm going to do some up in here. And a little bit on, this is your journaling square, so just kind of a little all over. Okay, we're done with that. Let me see if I can clean this up just a tad bit, so I don't get any more anywhere. We need this anymore. And I will clean that up so nobody else has to get any on their projects. Okay, here we go. So now we've got everything kind of attached or worked out. Let's start attaching some of these things. So I'm going to go ahead and attach our first strip. One will go on the right side, one will go on the left side page on the very outside. Next, we're going to put this one in on the reverse. And then this guy goes, it said, when I did it, it was like 3 3/4 inches up. 1, 2, 3 3/4. So it's up to you. I'm going to use the light side, I think, on this. Use the darker side in the other one. So let's go 1, 2, 3 3/4. Right there. Then we're going to add, and again, I'm going to use the light side of the Bliss, the Blackberry Bliss. Ooh, that's a tongue twister. All right. Okay. We can actually add our photo on our photo placeholder. Yeah, we can. You can use these if you don't have your photo. You can use this as a um, mat. What a cool idea, huh? Use it as a mat. All right. So we're gonna go there, there, and I have bloom right up here. Okay. So that's that page, pretty much. We've got a couple things that we're going to go ahead and stamp. Let me grab 3 different stamp sets that we're going to use. So we're going to use the leaves, this leaf from this one, just well, that, and then this little guy. So that is from Beautifully Celebrated. All of this will be up at the make and take table. Okay, so there's our leaf. And that is actually, I think that's the only thing that we're going to stamp on this page, in the Early Espresso. If you have the Early Espresso bloom in this, you could use it on other things if you wanted. So what I did with this one, and let me show you on this page, is I just added this down in here. This was done with the Blackberry Bliss, but you could easily use that with the Early Espresso. So I'm going to go Early Espresso, and I am going to just do a couple of leaves right down here. I kind of like this little airy leaf. It fills the space without being too much. Even though it's dark, it still fills the space. Okay, so I'm going to attach this. You could feel free to give it a dimensional um, if you would want to. I like to kind of, once I know where the pieces are going to go, I like to get them on right away so I don't lose them, because I have a tendency to lose things. I don't know about you guys, but I do. Okay. All right. So those are 2 pieces that we're going to put on soon. And then we are going to go ahead and take this little guy. And I'm going to do it in that, and I'm going to grab, because I'm going to stamp off. I'm not going to do it full strength. Oh, look at that. I found a piece that that's what I was doing with something else before. A long time ago. All right, so I'm going to go up with these. So I want just like, this is going to go behind the bloom. So it's just going to be little peaks of it going here and there. All right. I'm running out of blocks, so I'm going to go ahead. That one I'll quick wipe. All right, and then we're going to go and we're going to add another stamp set in, just because it has the bloom where you are planted. How about that? I'm pretty sure. Bloom came from the Cricut. I just Cricut cut that just because it was quick. All right, so here's bloom where you're planted. I'm going to use that right there. Okay. And I'm gonna, as long as we're right here, let's go ahead and finish this part up. Just looking, I have some smaller um, pop dots somewhere around in here. We'll cut them. All right. Actually, I'm going to cut the outsides because I'm going to pop Bloom. So I want to give it some dimension. So I just take this outside and give it a little snip here, snip there. And got it. All right, let's peel these off, get that on. This page is pretty close to being done. Feel free to add any embellishments that you have. Like I said, this is going to be like your base page. I want to see what you do with it. So, all right, bloom where you are planted. We're going to come back to that because that's going to take a little hot second to do. So we're going to go ahead, build the second page, and then we'll come back and do that. Okay. All right, here's our second page. Same thing. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to add this to the outside. I think this is looks more right. And then the reverse of it. Oops. Guys, don't you just love watching my videos and seeing all the mistakes that I make that I try to warn you guys about not doing? Or are you glad that you're not the only one that loses everything? Because I seem to probably could make a game out of that or something. How many times does Amy lose something on her videos? Oh my goodness. So that was 1, 2, 3, 2, 3 and 3/4. Puts us right about there. Now, they're not going to be exact. Oh, and of course it already went down. That's what I don't like about this adhesive. It is so sticky. But I found if you don't use I know there's like repositionable, but that doesn't work. Really doesn't work. Um, it doesn't hold your pictures on like it should. Okay. Again, we're gonna go ahead and put these down on the light side of everything. Okay, here's our 3 by 3 photo placeholder. Now this is going to be woohoo, a journaling square. So I don't want to pop any of that I'm going to attach this because I want to be able so that I can or somebody or whoever can write on this page. All right, I kind of created myself an opportunity right there. So this is basically the page. We're going to add a little bow. We're going to add a little stamp up here. And then this page is pretty much done. Okay. So, which brings us to stamp set number 3. And there's a couple different things off of this stamp set. We're going to we'll use this guy right away. Like I said, I'm kind of running out of blocks here. Go ahead and add that right up in the corner. So our little date sign. We're going to wash off this one right away. Okay. And then we are going to go ahead, grab Good Times and this outline. So we're going to grab our circle. Let's see, let's do that. Second thought, let's do that in the early espresso. This will fit right on there. Good Times. And next thing we're going to do is we are going to emboss this square. Okay. You're like, what? We're going to do what? We don't do that in our scrapbooks. Well, today we're going to. So we are going to use Versamark. We're going to ink it up. This one, it's really hard to see that you've got it all inked. Oh, one thing we're going to do quick before we stamp, and this is the dark side of that. I don't think, yep, that one doesn't have is our anti-static. One more pass through. All right, we're going to center it. Even that's pretty cool. And you can leave it like that. All right, we're going to bring in white embossing. Get a nice little flick there. Grab my tweezers because this one's going to get hot. And we're going to emboss. I hope you can kind of see it go. You can overheat. So try not to make sure you don't overheat. All right. So cool little tray. And just dumps right back into the jar to be used another day. Okay, we're just about done, guys. Just about, just about. Let's pull in our page again. So here's the right-hand page. Here's our left-hand page with a nice little something on it. Look at that. Just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna attach this one down. Again, you could pop it up. No big deal. But what I am gonna pop is this. And it's done. So it's a very simple layout, but I know you can make it. It's great. I think um, if you had pictures that were very colorful and busy, this would be the perfect layout for them. You've got some color, but they're going to stand out and not overpower on a page or get lost in a page. So, bloom where you're planted. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.